All right, welcome to the explainer. We're going to jump right into one of the strangest, most confusing moments in the entire book of Exodus.
So get this. God has just handpicked Moses to be his hero, the leader of his people. And then, completely out of the blue, he tries to kill him. What is going on there? Let's dig in and figure this out. Okay, so the stage is set perfectly, right? It's your classic hero's journey. Moses has this incredible divine mission straight from God himself to go save the Israelites. He's the guy, the hero, and he's heading straight for this epic showdown with Pharaoh. And then, bam, the story just screeches to a halt. On the road, God himself, the one who just sent him on this mission, tries to kill him. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It feels like a total contradiction. But believe it or not, this one bizarre little detail, well, it's actually the key that unlocks a much, much bigger story. So to crack this mystery, we've got to look really closely at the exact message God told Moses to deliver to Pharaoh. Turns out, the clue has been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
And here it is. The key is in this one phrase. Israel is my firstborn son. Now you might think, okay, that's just some nice poetry, a metaphor. But what if it's not? The source material we're looking at argues this is the single most important key to understanding the entire Bible.
You see, that one phrase completely reframes the entire story. Suddenly, this isn't about politics or freeing slaves. No, it's about something way more personal. It's a family drama. It's about a father demanding that a tyrant let his child go.
And you know what? This whole idea of humanity being God's kids, that didn't just pop up with Israel and Egypt. Nope. This theme goes all the way back. It's been building from the very first page of the story. Just look at Adam. The Bible sets up this father-son relationship right from the get-go. Adam wasn't just some random creation. He was designed for a direct, family-style relationship with God. In fact, Luke's gospel literally calls him the Son of God. So, and this is really important, the original fall of humanity, it wasn't a crisis of belief. It wasn't atheism. Of course, Adam and Eve knew God existed. They literally walked with him in the garden. The real crisis was a breakdown in the family relationship. It was a son looking his father in the eye and deliberately disobeying his very clear instructions.
So after that family breakdown, you can actually read the entire Old Testament as one long story. It's the story of a father, patiently, persistently, trying everything he can to reconnect with his kids who have walked away. And you can really see that long, winding road right here. You've got the initial break with Adam, then you get these glimmers of hope, like with Noah, but then there are these huge setbacks, like the Tower of Babel, where everyone just goes their own way again. But through it all, God never gives up. He just keeps trying, and eventually, he zeroes in on Abraham to start a whole new family project. And with Abraham, God does something really formal. He establishes a covenant, which is basically a super serious, binding agreement. And the promise isn't just about, land or having a big family. The promise is that God is going to build a special family through Abraham, and that this family will one day bring a blessing to the entire world. Now, this family had a very clear, very physical sign that you were a member, and that was circumcision. It wasn't optional, it was the non-negotiable proof. It was the mark that said, I belong to this family. I'm part of this special father-child relationship that God is building. Okay, and this brings us full circle, right back to that bizarre moment on the road. Here's Moses, the guy handpicked to lead God's firstborn son, Israel. But he had completely neglected the one foundational sign of that family covenant in his own home. His own son wasn't circumcised. He wasn't officially in the family. So you gotta ask, how can you lead the family of God if your own family isn't even in? See, God's reaction wasn't just some random fit of anger. It was a serious, radical intervention to make sure the mission and the family stayed intact. So, if we see the Exodus this way as a father coming to get his son, then the whole idea of salvation starts to look a lot bigger, a lot deeper than we might be used to thinking. It's not just about getting rescued from a bad situation. This view really changes how we think about what salvation even is. A lot of times we think of it as a transaction, right? Like a get-out-of-jail-free card or some kind of cosmic fire insurance to avoid punishment. But what if it's not a transaction at all? What if it's a relationship? What if it's all about the journey of coming home to the Father's house? And that really seems to be the ultimate goal of the whole story. From creation, through the Exodus, all the way to the New Testament, It's always been about restoring this deep, personal intimacy. The whole point is for humanity to be able to look at God and cry out, Abba, Father. I mean, that's like saying Dad. It doesn't get more personal than that.
So, when you boil it all down, the whole biblical project, from start to finish, seems to be about restoring this one precious thing, our status as children of God. It's about regaining the right to live in that reality. It's not just about being saved from something bad, it's about being saved for something good, for a life of real relationship, a life of worship.
And thinking about it this way, well, it kind of changes everything, doesn't it? It suggests that maybe at its very core, faith isn't about following a long list of rules or checking off a bunch of doctrinal boxes. Maybe it's much simpler. Maybe it's just a journey home, a response to a father who's been waiting this whole time for his kids to finally walk through the door.